Hi guys, I'm Melissa and I'm back with another video. Today I want to share with you some big books that I really want to read in 2021. I did one similar to this one last year, but I didn't do so well on that TBR. So I'm hoping this year will be better, but I do have a lot of books that I really would like to finish. And some of them are big books, so they take a little bit more of a priority. I hope that by adding these, I will be more likely to pick them up. In total I have 11 books picked out for my TBR for the year. I don't know why I chose 11 and not 10, but I have picked out 6 women and 5 men. Majority of the men are sequels, except for one, and yeah, only one of the female is a sequel. So but let's get started. First up I have some sequels, so we can start with those. A book that I'm hoping to finish in January actually is Night Shadow by Sebastian. This is the second book in the Greatcoats series. I really would like to finish the whole series this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, it's only 3 books, but if I want to read all of the other fat books, it's probably not going to be as easy. But I can read one of these at least a month, bigger books a month, and then we'll see if I have room for more. Another sequel that I'd like to get to is Rise of Empire by Michael J. Sullivan. This is a combination of the 3rd and 4th book in the Riyria Revelation series, and I really enjoyed the first one. I think I might have to reread the first one and to sort of refresh myself. I have an audio of both actually. The audios aren't Storytel, so I think I might try and listen and read them at the same time and see if that won't work for me. Another series I'd really like to finish, but I have my doubts about it, but if I can finish this book I'll also be happy, and that is Ruin by Gwynne. This is the 3rd book in the Faithful and the Fallen series. I really wanted to read this last year as well, but didn't get around to it, so I'm really sad about that. It is 745 pages, and supposedly it's going to end up on a really big cliffhanger, so you want to read the last one right after. So that gives me the hope that I will complete this series this year, but we'll see. And a sequel that is also a 2020 release, that the only sequel that I didn't get to last year, is Shorefall by Robert Jackson Bennett. I'd really like to finish that relatively soon. My aim is to keep up with my series as much as possible, the series that I started and want to continue. So that is the case with this one. I want to read this, and any other sequels that comes out in the year I'll try and keep up with them for the series that I really want to read. So the last and final sequel I want to read is by a woman, female author, and that is the 4th book in the World of Linaria series, called Isa by L.L. McNeill. I recently got this and I have taken too long buying these, but I'm really looking forward to reading on in this series. This book is 600 pages, and so it's definitely a big one, but I really have enjoyed everyone. And one of the things that I really love about them is that there's a summary of the previous book in the beginning before you start it, so you can sort of be on top of the going on in the series. It makes it a little bit easier to remember. Now to the books that I want to start, where it's a new book in a series. One I have up already for February is a Kushiel start by Jacqueline Carey. This is the 1st book in the Phédre series, a trilogy. I think that's how it's called. And then there's also Emerald trilogy, if you like that one, and one more, I think. This one is 900 pages. But I'm hoping to get through this in February. Obviously, I have really wanted to read on with Robin Hobb's books, so I have Shamans Crossing on my to-be-read pile for the year. This is not part of the Elderling universe, so I know it's going to be different, but I hear really good things about it, especially from Chris Bocuse Cauldron. He really praises this book really highly, and I mean, it's Robin Hobb, it can't go wrong. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. Then I have Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marillier, still. I feel like I've put this on my list so many times, but I really would like to get through this year as well. So it's also a high priority. And a series that I really wanted to or maybe it's the author that I really wanted to get to know, because a lot of people in the SFF community really loves his books. They're really dark and gritty, and yeah, it's Joe Abercrombie. So I have The Blade itself that I really like to finish, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if I like his writing, because I hear so many things about it, and there's so many books to go to if I like it, so I'm very excited about that. Last and finally, I have 2 Danish books on here, because I have a couple of Danish fantasy books as well on my list to read. And the first one is Kald fra Galathea, which is by Nathalie and Bettina, Liane. It is called, in English, The Call from Galathea. It's about ships, I think. I know a couple of people who've read it and they really enjoyed it. It is also signed. I got it from at the fantasy festival in 2019. So another book that I really want to read, because I've read a book by her before. I know that I like her writing style, so I'm really looking forward to get to Grænsen to Træfallas series by Juliet. This is the first book called The Halves Air. It is 590 something pages, 87 pages, but the text is fairly large, so I think it's gonna go all right with, and there's a bit of I think it's gonna be okay. And also I do read Danish a little bit faster than English, so. But those are my books on my list of big books of the year. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, if there are any of them you think I should prioritize before others. I'd also like to know that. And also let me know if you are planning on reading any of them. That would be fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to them all and hope that they live up to my own expectations. I decided to add quite a few female authors because I realized the other day that I don't have a lot of epic fantasy, high fantasy books that are by female authors. All of my female authors in fantasy are generally in urban fantasy, and I feel like that's a bit of that's really sad. So I wanted to make sure I added a lot of high fantasy authors to my list of reading this year. So yeah, these are all fantasy related, so maybe I should call it big fantasy books. This was everything I have for you today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!